The Edify Show presents the Hearty After Party, with another behind-the-scenes sample from the Season 12 Collector's Edition, with interviews from Amanda Wong, Ben Rosenbaum, and now, from the set of Wing Calls the Heart, Amanda Wong and Tiffany Wallach.
Season starts off with you and Mike coming back from your honeymoon, and things didn't go exactly as you'd planned.
No, definitely not.
What happened? We didn't really get to see the honeymoon. We just got to see the return. It did not seem, you guys were not very happy about it.
You know, we say that we got food poisoning and we lost our luggage. So what does that mean? We probably had some stomach issues.
Yeah.
Everyone's sweating and thrown up and probably pooping lots. And that's not a very sexy way to start off a honeymoon and marriage, I don't think.
No, it's not. I feel bad for them. They're such a sweet couple. And then it just got worse. So you get back to Hope Valley.
Yep.
You don't want to talk to anybody. You guys you're kind of over it. And
We're
then
sweating,
it just,
cold sweating,
Yeah.
smelling like the honeymoon and no proper plumbing. And, you know, our suitcases didn't arrive until later, so we're probably really gross.
And then what? And then you find the state of the apartment.
Yes, yeah. Who would have thought an open window would have the walls peeling off and everything? Yeah, that was really funny to film.
Who do you think left the window open? This is the argument that goes through the episode.
I think we know. It wasn't me. Yeah, but also to think that we were fighting over an open window and then that disaster happened is just so funny.
Yeah.
Because we're like, how could an open window have done all of this?
So what did you think when you got there and you went into the apartment and you saw the disaster that it was?
So Ben and I were just like, this is like, we were just like floored by it because we were playing it like, you left the window open. No, you left the window open. But then we're like, this is actually a huge mess. That the severity in which we were arguing, because we filmed the you left the window open part and the rug part first.
What did you think of the set? Because we've never seen inside of Mike's apartment.
It was the first time I realized where he lived. On set, it is the boots and shoes storefront, which I don't know how much we've seen of that in the past. It's certainly a part of the set I hadn't visited before.
Okay.
But they built out this beautiful little front yard, white picket fence. I was like, Mike is doing pretty well. Until we walk inside, and then, of course, the whole thing is ruined. They did a really great job with that set. It was honestly like a disaster movie. I was like, this is a lot of damage to have come from a window that blew open. It was like rafters had fallen. There's rainwater coming in.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Did the window blow open though? Or did somebody leave it open?
We, I believe that the moral of the story is it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter, right?
Who could say?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the lesson Hickam learned.
We're like, this is actually a disaster in here. It looks like the tornado went through this place. But then I also thought, wow, it seems like Mike Hickam has some funds because this place is really large and it was quite well decorated.
What did you think of his style? I mean, you thought he was, that he was doing pretty well. I mean, he was mayor.
Yeah, he was mayor. He has some oil money. And this whole time I thought that maybe I just married a broke guy.
And you still loved him anyway.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. And I was like, you have some funds. And he was like, well, I have like oil shares. I partly run the saloon now. And I was mayor. And I was like, oh, I never thought about those things. Yeah.
Well, this leads to, this fight that goes on. What did you think about that conflict? Do you think they worked through it well?
Well, I think because the relationship is so fresh, there was like the first kiss after 5 months, and then they shortly after, because of circumstances with the brother, they got married quicker than they should have. So even though they knew they wanted to be together, I think they hadn't gone through certain trials and tribulations that other couples might. I think in the beginning, before they dated, there was some tension with the who likes who, and you stood me up on a date thing. But there were no real problems, and I think this is the first time the two were tested and they had to work together. It's always tough to go through the first argument and not know how the other person will handle it.
The challenge for Mike and May is to figure out, well, if that was the honeymoon period, what's the rest of our marriage going to be like? We get to experience a little bit of the real work that goes into a meaningful relationship that is worth working for. And so it is not all Hope Valley glowiness right off the bat.
Through the help of some friends and stuff, they kind of came out of it stronger.
She helps, so Faith helps her sort of navigate
Right,
this
right.
conflict. We see arguing styles, right,
Right.
with between the two of you, not you and Faith, but you and Mike.
Yeah.
So what would you say your style of arguing? Like, some people have to walk away.
Yeah.
Some people, like, they want to hash it out right then.
Yeah, I'm the latter. I'm definitely like, I want to talk about it.
Okay.
I like to, I don't want to sleep angry. I want to settle everything. And yeah, that's definitely one of my argument styles. It's when you're going into relationships and things, it's not always about like how people handle good situations. Cause I was listening to something and it's like, anyone can go watch a movie with you. Anyone can eat dinner with you. But how people respond in times of conflict is more revealing. And when times are tough, of the pair's, I guess, compatibility than when things are good. Because it's easy to be happy together.
Right, exactly. And to be tested, traveling together is a test for any relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so you got all of that right in the beginning. You had the test and the travel and the newlywed status, all together.
I just blush for May, thinking that she was probably on the toilet the whole time. And
She imagines this romantic
Yes,
honeymoon.
exactly.
And,
yeah, especially the two
the
of them.
rose petals, right? The candles.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No.
Especially since the two of them are just such sweet romantic characters. I can't imagine this being a part of their bingo list, or bingo punch card or whatever to be pooping all the time. I shouldn't be saying pooping all the time, but that's all I think
Well,
about.
it's a fact of life, right?
Exactly.
It happens. That's marriage, right? That's the real marriage. So there's a sweet scene between you guys with the hazelnut, where you're out with the hazelnut trees and you make a comment and you talk about, you say, learning to fight well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's sort of the overall moral of this story for the two of you?
I think so. I think what's really lovely to see about May and Hickam is that their relationship is not as mature and as developed and as experienced as the others. I think that for May and Mike, because they are newer to relationships and they kind of represent young love, I think, because the Canfields, they're the mature love. They've got the two children. And then even with Rosemary and Lee, they're like a different type of love. I think everyone kind of has a different way of expressing love, and also their relationship all looks different. You get Ned and Florence, they have old love that seems like old soul love, And then you see also Elizabeth and Nathan having the real, like, fiery and passionate love. Yeah. And I think that with May and Mike, it's a kind of free, almost childlike innocence to their love, because this is both their first time, and they're just experiencing everything together, and they don't know what it should be like. And maybe because of that, expectations are sometimes you come higher and you fall further down, because I think that in stories it's always picture perfect, and the two protagonists get together and they live happily ever after, and you don't know what it looks like after that. Happily ever after also comes with its challenges, and that's what makes a strong relationship so great, right? Being able to come out through the top. And I think that's the pair of them. Each kind of conflict, each kind of struggle, each hurdle to be jumped over, they get stronger. And I think that's the lesson. It's not always rosy. And that doesn't mean that it's any less loving or deserving or valuable as the true deepest love that you can have in life.